Hey everybody, Joe Casabona here, and today I am going to take up the full site editing outreach team's call and challenge to create a fun and custom 404 page. Now, if you're not familiar with these tests, the full site editing outreach program has created a series of challenges for people to test the new full site editing functionality coming to WordPress as soon as it could be 5.8 in July. And this is the third challenge, create a custom 404 page. So basically, they've decided that this is a great way to do a test because you can modify templates in full site editing without having to know any code. They walk you through the full testing environment and things that you should test. In this video, I am just going to build out the page, see what turns up, and if anything does, I'll be sure to report it to the full site editing team. But I will link this page in the description for this video. Now, before we get started, I have one request, and that is to head over to buildsomething.email and sign up for my free weekly newsletter called Build Something Weekly. You'll get notifications of new content, weekly insights from me that I don't publish anywhere else, and recommended tools. You'll also have the opportunity to answer questions, provide feedback, and things like that. So again, that is buildsomething.email for a very free, very weekly newsletter. Okay, let's jump into it. So I have a local version of my personal website set up here on my computer. And I chose that because I have lots of content here. If I was setting this up from scratch, which I did in the live stream I did when researching this video, I kind of did a live stream on that. That'll be in the cards. When I did that, I set up a brand new site and there was no content on there, and that was no fun. So I'm using all of the 10 plus years of content from casabona.org. I guess it's closer to 20 now. But there's a couple of things that we need to do first. We need a theme that supports full site editing. And while 2021 is the current default theme in WordPress, full site editing is not rolled out for that yet. So there is a fork of that theme called TT1 Blocks that does support full site editing. And we will install that and activate it. Now, if you just activate it and head over to the site, you'll see that there is an error message, and that's because we also need to get the Gutenberg plugin. The Gutenberg plugin, the latest version of it, works in tandem with the TT1 Blocks theme, and probably most themes that support full site editing, I would reckon, to work together. So again, if we go out there now, we could see 2021 and my cheesy face. Everything looks kind of weird because I just switched themes, but that's fine. So when we enable both TT1 Blocks and Gutenberg, we have a new section here called the Site Editor. And if we click into that, we will be brought to a customizer-like experience, and then we can choose from the various templates here. But before we do that, I want to first create a new template. So let me go back here, and we see we have templates. That's what we were just looking at, and template parts, headers and footers and things like that. So I am going to basically, man, this looks very broken. Let's just go to the let's view the 404 template first. So, okay, now let me go back to template parts. When I create my 404 page, I want to essentially get rid of the header. I want the 404 page to kind of be its own thing, and I want to modify the footer a little bit as well. And right now, the full site editing or the 404 page is using the default header and the default footer. So let's go back to the dashboard, and under appearance, you'll notice that appearance has changed too since enabling full site editing. We have themes, but then we have template parts and templates and theme editor. we don't have customizer. That's all getting rolled into full site editing. So that's something important to note. I will show you how to access some of the global styles in a minute. But first, I'm going to create a template part. I am going to call it 404 header. I'm going to put just the site title in for now. And I like to use the / to summon the blocks menu. And I can choose site title. So that's good. I can modify that further in the full site editing page, but I'm going to save that. And I'm going to go back and I'll do the same thing for footer. So I'll write 404 footer. Now we can actually add a template part here. That's one of the blocks. So I'm just going to add the footer template part so we can easily modify that instead of starting from scratch. Template part, choose existing, footer. Make that full width, and then publish. All right, so with the 2 template parts created, we are ready to build our 404 page. I'll click Site Editor, and I will choose the 404 template. And then I am going to remove this header. I can just replace it with the header I've created. Great. And then again, I can modify that within. I'll do the same thing here. I'll replace this footer with the 404 footer. And we should see no changes there, right? Okay, so with the stage set there, I'm like a little bit on the fence here. I might just actually get rid of the 404 template header altogether. If I can do that. No, so I'll say that this is a little bit confusing. So I just hit Control Z to undo what I just did. Now I'm up at 404 header, and I will click Remove Block. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to go with. Let's start from scratch here. We'll remove this block too. I guess we won't start completely from scratch. We'll keep the footer and this spacer. Okay, so we have our 404 page ready to go. So first, let's modify the global styles. You click the little A icon up here in the right, and that'll open up the global styles. I am going to choose white for the background color of this page. And then the text color, that can kind of stay at that lightish blue. I like that a lot. Okay. And those are really the main changes I want to make. The link color, again, that can kind of stay maybe slightly off color. Maybe we want to pick, we have a nice color palette here built into the theme. We have black, gray, dark gray. Maybe we want to change the dark gray slightly. So if I select that, maybe we move that closer to like a darker grayish blue. That way, at least the links stand out a little bit. Maybe that's a nice blue. Okay. And actually, since we're here, why don't we make that modification on the theme level? So grayish blue. Grayish blue. Okay. And now that's part of our color palette, which is also pretty nifty. The other thing I want to do is change the font family. I'm a big fan of Hoffler text. It's been something that I've really been into lately. So I love that they have that built in. Then it falls back to Baskerville and Garamond, and then Times New Roman. Okay, so there we go. Those are the global styles. And now I am going to build the 404 page. So when I envisioned this, I thought that maybe there could be one big image, and we have the ability to do that through a cover image here. So we'll just add that, move it on top of the footer. There we go. And then I found this nice image here over on Unsplash, so I'll download that. So the desktop is fine. It'll get added here. And then I will drag that over the cover block. I will make sure that this is full width. And then one of the cool things about WordPress 5.7 is that we can set a minimum height for the cover in VH, which is basically viewport height. So we can make this image the full height of the viewport. And then we want to add some text. We'll change this to the heading. The internet is a vast place. And we'll make this the H1 because this is the first text on the page now. We will align this. I don't like just like how big that is. Of course, gigantic. 85 is good. And then we'll add a small paragraph here, and in parentheses say, you've stumbled upon a 404 error. No capital E there. All right, and then we'll align this. As far as the cover goes, this looks pretty good. We can set the color, the overlay color, and the opacity here. So if we want it to be like a little brighter, I don't necessarily know that we want it to be, unless we change it to white and then the text to black. But I like this. The internet is a vast place. Okay, and then we probably want to suggest some content, right? So the first thing I'll add is another heading. You have a few options. And then we'll add a search bar. Search for some content. And then the other option here will be just to check out the latest posts. And so we can do two things here, right? We can actually put that in the footer of this. So maybe I want to bump up this whole column, remove this block, right? Maybe I want this to be align middle. Yeah. We can keep the social icons. That's good. But for here, maybe we want the latest posts. Okay, and we can, oh, that's nifty. We can change the styles. We can include post content, display the author name, featured image, categories. This is great. But we do want to add a heading. We don't just want to have it floating with no context here. So heading. This could be an H4. Read latest posts. And then we'll bump that up above. And why don't we drag the social icons down? Can we do that? No. If we drag it out of the columns. Okay, we can't do that. Are these all separate? No. Okay, so I'll drag this out. I'll get rid of this column. And I will move. Selecting this is a little weird. Probably because there's not like a whole lot of real estate to select. And I'll put this here. Maybe Can I do that? Oh, that's interesting. I can't really do that. And I mean, I should probably have the powered by WordPress bit here. Just put it down there. Maybe we can't. Okay. Well, I just accidentally deleted that. I just accidentally deleted the whole footer, actually. Okay. This is why it's still in beta. This is why we're testing. But, so I can't actually tell what I've done here with this block. Is this just here now? I'm going to delete this text. This block is interesting because I can't really tell. I can't tell what it is or how it works, but this is how I want it to look right now. Okay, so we'll add another heading here. Heading 4. Listen to my podcast. And then we'll grab the RSS widget and we'll give it the old how I built it feed, which is feed/podcast, if I recall correctly. So now this should pull in the latest episodes. The only thing that bothers me a little bit here is that it doesn't match the style of the latest posts. So I can do defaults so that it does. Borders? Like, I can't do... It would be nice... This is feedback that's not really a bug, but it would be nice if the RSS and the posts had a similar styling so that we can make them look the same. Okay, so there's our footer. I'll duplicate this spacer and I'll add it. Oh, I can't move it out of the footer. There we go. And I'll add that here. And then I'll probably add a separator, I think, too. What I was going to do was make the footer a different color, but then, like, if the page isn't long enough, we're going to have a weird, like, gap at the bottom, and I don't want that. So do the separator, make that full width, and then thick, and we'll make it black. Okay. All right, and I think we can get rid of this spacer. Yeah, because we got the spacer here. Maybe make it a little bit bigger, like 100 pixels. All right, you have a few options. Search for some content, read latest posts, listen to my podcast. And we got that nice image here. So let's update the design here. This tells us everything that we are about to modify. So we've got the 404 template. I don't know why this page is going to get modified, but we'll see what happens. This is why you should do things in a test or staging environment. We've got some global styles that are about to change. Save it all. Let's go back out to the front. One thing that, another piece of feedback that I'm going to probably provide is in the site editor, clicking on the site icon here, which just used to be the WordPress logo, would take you back to the dashboard. But in the site editor, it opens up the menu and then you have to click back to the dashboard, which is a little bit confusing. So that's definitely something I'm going to mention to the team. So let's go to the front page. Header is still intact. The page is modified because I modified the global styles. And when I was testing this originally as well, the font didn't change, which bummed me out because, again, I really like the font. So I don't know if that's also a bug. It didn't change for me at all anywhere. But we can test this by going to our domain /404. And look at that. The internet is a vast place. You've stumbled upon a 404 error. This, with the image here, is not as readable. So maybe I'll either add a background, maybe, or reduce the opacity on the images. And then you have a few options. Search, read the latest. Looks very clean. I like this a lot. Now you may run into some issue where people will see this and then not know how to get back. So to fix that, I'm going to click Edit Site again, and I will add a navigation bar to the cover image if I can do that. So we'll go to the 404 template, and then we'll add a new block here, navigation horizontal, and then choose existing menu. I think the header menu is, nope. That's not the one I want. And I don't know how to change that. Interesting. So once you select the navigation, okay, let's try that again. Navigation, horizontal, existing menu, main. There we go. Main is what I wanted. So we can change the color. I'm going to explicitly set the background color here to a solid color. Maybe, I guess that kind of takes away the effect. So let's do this. Let's keep this as a solid color. We'll space between, make this wide width. Can we center align it? We'll just keep it like that. And then in the cover image, looks like something might have crashed. I'm not going to edit this part out because this is part of the test, right? I didn't expect this to be fully working because it's still very experimental. So there's everything that we wanted. Our progress wasn't changed, or saved rather. So we'll choose navigation, horizontal. The existing menu will be main. And something's not loading correctly here. Let's update the design and refresh again. The styles were not loading here. All right, but this is saved. It looks good now. So now let's bump up to the cover, and we will change the opacity to 60. That looks a little better. It looks a little more sunrisey, right? I guess if I really wanted to, I could like find like a reddish black, right? Or maybe like an orangey black, and then maybe even make it a little more opaque, make it seem like sunrise and vastness. So we'll save that. We will go back to the 404 page and see how that looks. Not too shabby. This is a little off kilter, so I'd maybe want to fix that. But all in all, I think I would like this as my 404 page. I might add a little spacing here. In between you have a few options. Now the bugs, which I'm going to write down, is the font's not loading properly, the site icon dashboard, and the social icons block is a little confusing. And I will elaborate on that. I'm not just going to know how to provide feedback. But all in all, again, I'm really excited about this. I think this is a nice looking 404. And the best part about this is we were able to customize, fonts notwithstanding. Again, I suspect that that's a bug. But we were able to customize the colors, add new colors to the color scheme and color palette, totally customize the footer without a single line of code. That's really the power of the full site editor. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe down below. Press that like button. Again, if you want to get more updates from me, you can go to buildsomething.email. And until next time, get out there and build something.